just going a little bit off topic here, but for myself, looking at how fast everything is changing, sometimes it can just feel super overwhelming. And today's workshop is hopefully going to help you feel a little bit less overwhelmed and understand for yourself what is required, what is necessary, to really thrive in this new age of AI that we are in as a Google Ads specialist. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Miles McNair, and that one guy you see on the screen is Bob Meyer. That's my co-founder here at PPC Mastery. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here today. He sends his regards, definitely. So you're just going to have to deal with me today. But my name is Miles McNair. I've been a Google Ads specialist since 2018. And in 2022, I founded PPC Mastery with Bob to help you guys drive the best possible results with Google Ads for your clients. And 2 years ago, we created the PPC Hub, the in our opinion, best education platform and community for Google Ads specialists. But obviously, I'm super biased. But we've worked with a lot of cool people from cool brands and big agencies worldwide, and lots of A-level freelancers. And that's why we are here today, because the PPC Hub is actually turning 2 next month. So last year we did a birthday bash workshop, and this year I thought, hey, let's make it a ritual and do it every single year for our birthday bash to really celebrate the birthday of the PPC Hub, also with people that are not a member at this time. So quick note, guys, another question that I have for you, drop in the chat. Number 1, if this is your first PPC Mastery workshop. 2, if you've been to a PPC Mastery workshop before. Or 3, if you are in the PPC Hub, so I can actually understand like a little bit of who is here and what's the audience. Okay. Lots of new people. Some people are here for the second or multiple times. Ramil, obviously in the PPC Hub. Welcome, mate. Welcome. I see it's pretty mixed. Larissa, welcome from the PPC Hub. I see a lot of people here for the first time, but also many of you are here for second or even more than that. Negar, thanks for joining from the PPC Hub as well. Welcome. Cool. Giuseppe from the PPC Hub, and lots of you who are not in the PPC Hub, but have been to a workshop of ours before, or lots of first timers as well. So welcome. If you are new here for the first time, my whole goal in life right now is to help you succeed as a Google Ads specialist. So hopefully this workshop is going to contribute to that. Let me just take away my chair. I saw Juan and Abdulrahman, Ornella from the PPC up here as well. Welcome, guys. Welcome. So, as I said, we are here today to celebrate the second birthday of the PPC Hub. We're actually turning 2 on June 14th. And we just hit our 2,000th member from agencies and big brands, and also small brands, and freelancers from all over the world. And let's just celebrate with a workshop so that you know what is actually important and what is required to drive the best possible results with Google Ads in this new age of AI that we are in. Now, at the end of the workshop, we're going to be giving away 3 PPC Hub year memberships. So stick around for that. We're going to do a live raffle, and we'll get there when we get there. So now it's time to really kick off the workshop. And the reason why we're here today is because everything seems to be about AI these days. You guys have seen it, obviously, in your own accounts. You're working as marketers. You see AI is all around you. And in Google Ads, it's the same thing. Just a few weeks ago, Google announced AI Max for search. Lots of buzz around that. You know how broad match and everything is embedded with AI. But recently, we've also seen companies really use AI agents and replace marketing teams with AI features, or at least enhance their marketing teams with people who are using AI. And obviously, last week at Google Marketing Live, everything was all about AI. Bob did a AI counter, and they said AI 145 times, which wasn't a surprise. And their whole new Power Pack thing, which is not technically a new thing, it's just a combination of their campaign types that they're pushing. But these things are embedded with AI as well, as you know. Performance Max, all about AI. AI Max for search campaigns, it's in the name. And Demand Gen also has a lot of AI in it. This is not a Power Pack workshop. I think Google is really good at renaming things that are already existing. We'll dive into how to actually leverage AI as a Google Ads specialist as well. Now we've seen AI agents are popping up. Google is starting to build their own, as we've seen at Google Marketing Live, and all the new features and search engines are embedded with AI. You know, we have the whole AI mode now in the US, allowing you to search with AI, buy with AI, try on clothes with AI. So again, everything is about AI. Now, AI, in my opinion, I think AI is going to create a large divide between average and elite Google Ads specialists. And the framework that I'm going to be teaching today can give you a 100x advantage, but most people won't understand this, and that's why they will fall behind. And I know that a lot of people say this like, oh, you're going to fall behind, you're going to get replaced. I don't mean it like, I don't mean to fearmonger at all. I'm always like looking realistically at how the industry is right now. And I know that a 100x advantage sounds a little bit clickbaity, but I'll show you in this workshop why that is the case. We'll get there. So this workshop is not just to set the expectations. This workshop is not a tactical breakdown of how to use the latest AI tools, but this workshop is about thriving, not necessarily about surviving, but about thriving in the age of AI and creating a 100x advantage. Now, if you have any questions, guys, or comments, just drop them in the chat, drop them in the comments. I can see them all here on my screen. And if possible, I will answer on the spot, or we'll do at the Q&A at the end. So, are you ready to rock? Let's do this. So last year, when I hosted a workshop, I said a storm is coming because AI really started to pop off back then. And Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, had just said 95% of what marketers use agencies, strategists, and creative professionals for today will easily, nearly instantly, and almost no cost be handled by AI. All free, instant, and nearly perfect. Images, videos, campaign ideas, no problem. You've probably seen this quote many, many, many times. And I'm bringing it up because that is what the sentiment was last year. And I thought, like, it's a little bit, isn't it a little bit extreme? But now, fast forward 1 year, it was not extreme at all. And I think that the storm has actually arrived because big companies are changing their policy to becoming an AI first. They're building AI first teams. Like, for example, Duolingo, the CEO said, the company is going to be AI first and they will replace contract workers with AI. Or the CEO of Shopify, who said, staffers need to prove jobs cannot be done by AI before asking for more headcount. And then more recently, this is all the last 2 months, last month in April, the CEO of Fiverr, massive company as well, said, AI is coming for your jobs. Heck, and this is an internal memo that he sent to all the people who work at Fiverr. He said, AI is coming for your jobs. Heck, it's coming for mine too. This is a wake-up call. Easy tasks will no longer exist. Hard tasks are the new easy, and impossible tasks are the new hard. If you do not become exceptional at what you do, a master, you will face the need for a career change in a matter of months. And this quote really stuck with me. And we're going to be diving into this in this workshop. What does it actually mean? And you see a lot of people are worried. You know, you read it all across the internet. People are asking, is AI going to take over my job? And even though I do think that we are in crazy times, I'm not here to fearmonger, and I don't believe in the AI will take your job thing. But last year in the PPC Hub, we hosted a workshop with Mike Rhodes. As I'm sure most of you know him. If you don't, definitely follow him on LinkedIn. He said, and I'm not sure if this is his original quote, but it was the first time I heard it, so I will attribute it to him. He said, AI won't replace your job, but someone using AI will. Now, here's the thing. I've been thinking about this a lot recently, and I think no matter the industry, no matter how everything changes, I think there will always be opportunities. AI or no AI, there will be opportunities. But over the upcoming years, I think the opportunities are going to go to someone who leverages the technology because they can work 10 times faster for 10 times as many clients. Hence, the 100x advantage. And the reason why they can do that is because the new AI tools really give you leverage so that you can do more with less. So I think AI is going to create a large divide between average Google Ad specialists and elite Google Ad specialists. But this is not like a skill gap, divide between the best and the average has always been there. But I believe AI is going to make this gap bigger, and I'm gonna explain why. So there's this, in my opinion, false belief going around on what AI means for the industry. And many people think that AI is leveling the playing field and closing the skill gap, providing equal opportunity for all. But if you think about it, if everyone had the same opportunity and level playing field, then why doesn't everyone have the same results? If everyone is using the same tech, if everyone is using, for example, ChatGPT or other tools, AI agents, then how come not everyone gets the same results? And that is because there is a skill gap between the best and the average. And the more I have been playing around recently with AI tools myself, the more I notice that input equals output. And the best specialists are going to have better input because their skill level is just higher. And the average specialists, let me tone this down a little bit. Average specialists are going to have worse input, but they don't know, they cannot actually judge the outcome, and they think it's good while it's not. And that's why there's going to be a big gap between the average and the elite. And this is where people who don't get it fall behind. And they think that if AI is going to do it for me, why would I even bother developing the skill? And it's a good question. But AI is not a magic button that you can push for magical results. You have to actually input something into the system to get the output you want from it. And this is a quote that stuck with me. Recently I was listening to a podcast from Nicholas Cole, who I follow. He's a digital writer, ghostwriter, founder of Ship 30 for 30 and Premium Ghostwriting Academy. And he said, the irony is that AI can literally not take it over from you if you can't articulate it. And this was such an interesting concept to me when I heard it for the first time, because people think that, okay, AI is just going to do it for me. Why would I bother even learning this skill now? For example, let's take a real example, Google Ads, RSA writing. Yes, AI can do that for you really quickly. So why would you even bother learning how to create proper ads if AI can do it for you in a second? The reason why, and this is crucial to understand, this is literally this understanding is going to be the difference between the average and the elite in the upcoming years. The reason why you still need to learn it is because you need to be able to articulate it to AI so that it can give you the output that you want from it. But what rookies or noobs are going to do, they're going to skip out on learning, and then they have this basic prompt, basic input, and then the output is also basic. But because they haven't learned, they haven't taught themselves how to actually do it, they think the output is good, because when you first look at it, oh, it looks nice. In a few seconds, RSA is boom, let's go. But the best experts, they know that you need to create, diverse ads that are conversion optimized with persuasion elements, etc., etc. And that is why your skill is extremely important now moving forward in this age of AI. As also the CEO of Fiverr also said, like, you need to become a master of your craft or you're going to be in trouble. And a fool with a tool is still a fool. And I don't know who actually said this quote, but it wasn't my original quote, but I love this. And what it basically means is that if your input sucks, your output also sucks. And what determines your input? Your skills and your expertise. And if your skill level is low, you won't be able to see that the output was actually bad, which is a big problem. So remember this. With everything that's going on now with AI tools, ChatGPT, Claude, Replit, Cursor AI, AI agents, N8N, it doesn't matter. If you don't have the skills, these tools are going to make you worse. And a fool with a tool is still a fool. So in my opinion, AI is not going to close the skill gap at all. It's going to expose it. And especially the average specialist with low skill are going to be exposed because they use the tools. They're going to use the tools, but they have low skill, so they're getting poor results. On the other hand, the best, the elite, they have high skill, and then they use the tool, and then it becomes a multiplier for them, and they're gonna get great results much faster. So when everyone uses the same tech, your edge lies in your skill development. And skill development is the bridge that closes the skill gap, not AI itself. And I see you, Alfred. But yeah, this is now, who knows what is 5 months later and 10 years in AI terms. That is definitely true. Everything changes so fast. But that doesn't change the fact that you need to have the skills to be able to give the right input to the AI, and also to be able to judge the output from AI. Good comment, though. So my belief is you need to become a master of your craft so that AI becomes a multiplier that enhances your results and your productivity. So if there's only one thing you take away from today, please do not stop investing in your skill set thinking that AI will do everything for you. You need to continue to level up all the time, even with AI. Just continue to level up. Because in the age of AI, the difference between average and elite is not a 2x difference, it's a 100x difference. So build the skills, understand how and why things work, and then get a 100x leverage on your time with AI. So which side are you going to be on? That's a question from me to you. Will you be part of the 10% who dominate, or the 90% who struggle and will get left behind? And then obviously I want you to be on the elite specialist side, where you succeed and you're thriving, you're dominating, and you're using the tools in the right way, with the right knowledge, with the right frameworks, etc., with the right skill set. And that's why we're here today. So what we're going to be diving into is the 100x advantage, the surprising 3-step strategy to 100x your impact and stay relevant in the age of AI. And I see you guys commenting, I want to be part of the top 1%. Top 1%, you guys rock, and that's why we're here today. So before we dive into the 3-step strategy or framework, I'm going to explain to you how we actually discovered this, because it was a long journey of discovery, basically. So a few years ago, in my career as a Google Ads specialist, I was just like most other experts. I often felt overwhelmed. I was constantly chasing new features, looking for hacks, cheat codes, fancy sounding advanced tactics. But instead of getting clarity of what was working, because I was always looking for that thing, like, okay, what is that advanced? There must be something that the experts know that I don't. There must be this advanced tactic that can really explode, like take my results to the next level. But instead of, after always searching and finding conflicting advice and etc., instead of having clarity, I really found myself being confused by all the conflicting advice that I found online. And I don't know if you can relate, but I felt this weird balance of stress and overwhelm, but also excitement, because obviously, in performance marketing, we have to develop and we have to level up constantly. And I was enjoying that, but at the same time, I was stressed and overwhelmed because I was, chasing these shiny objects all the time, and it wasn't really doing much for my accounts. So as I got more experience, I realized that the constant chasing of these shiny objects was actually not making me a better specialist, but it was distracting me from what really drives results. And then I think a year and a half ago, I came across a piece of content that completely shifted my perspective. And I was listening to a podcast by Alex Hormozi. If you don't know who that is, definitely check it out. Lots of great business content on YouTube. His books are great as well. And he said, you don't outgrow the fundamentals. So he did a podcast episode about his team. Yeah, you're on the GOAT for sure. He said that his team or his businesses, he's basically like has a holding company, is investing in companies and helping them grow. And he said that the companies that were growing the most were not doing anything fancy, but they just mastered the fundamentals over and over. And that really stuck with me. Like, such a big guy doing like hundreds of millions of revenue per year said that you don't outgrow the fundamentals. Like, that is the key to success. So I thought, like, okay, interesting. And then, as some of you might know, I'm a big sports guy, and I started to notice a common theme among world's greatest athletes. So I was listening to a podcast interview with Kobe Bryant, and he said that he never gets bored with the basics. And he told a story of how he was 12, and he was playing in the summer league, and he scored 0 points, like bad. And then 2 years later, he became the best player in the state. And he explained why, like going from a total noob at 12, scoring 0 points, to becoming the best player in the state by 14. And he said that he decided to focus on the fundamentals and improve his fundamental understanding of the game of basketball. And that's why he became ultimately one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Now, when I look at football, that's my sport. My favorite player of all time, Cristiano Ronaldo, the GOAT in my eyes. He went from flashy skiller to world's greatest goal scorer because he reinvented his game to focus on the fundamentals. So let me explain. If you're not into football, in the beginning of his career, he was young and he was always trying to entertain the crowd with cool tricks, and it looked awesome. It was exciting to look at. But his production wasn't really great, and production meaning goals or assists, because that is how you win games and how you win trophies. So at some point there, I'm sure it must have clicked for him, because he completely removed all that flashiness from his game, and he decided to focus on becoming a lethal goal scorer. And in doing so, he became the best goal scorer in history of the game, and he scored more goals than games that he played. And reinvented himself as this machine goal scorer, and then he won all the trophies that he won because he tried because he decided to focus on the fundamentals of football and what is really important. And yes, Stavros. All right, so that got me thinking. If the best athletes in the world, if the best business guys in the world are all mentioning why the fundamentals are so important, why wouldn't this apply to Google Ads? And what if the reason that I struggled so much was because I overcomplicated Google Ads? Could that have been the case, that I had forgotten about the fundamentals? And so that's how we came to this first discovery. The fundamentals are the key to success. And I sat down with Bob last year, a couple years, maybe 2 years ago, and we really dug through our data and came to a surprising conclusion. And it was always the accounts that were performing the best were the accounts that were not using any fancy tactics. The accounts that were performing the best were always the ones that nailed the fundamentals. And that was a huge light bulb moment for me, because I just, I heard it in the podcast with the athletes, etc. And then we also checked our own accounts, and then that was the same. Like, the best accounts were the ones that nailed the fundamentals. And so we discovered that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts. And that 20% is almost always the brilliant basics or the fundamentals. And the cool thing about that is that the industry changes a lot. Like, there's new features and updates coming and going all the time. But the fundamentals usually stay somewhat the same, which helps preventing shiny object syndrome. And that's how Bob was able to scale this struggling lead gen client by completely restructuring the account from the bottom up. And then you can see here the blue line went all the way up, conversion went up, CPA went down, and it's all because he decided to really focus on the fundamentals. That's actually absolutely key here. And you're going to learn how this relates to AI as well, for sure. But that wasn't everything. So that was the first discovery and the first part of this 3-step strategy. The second discovery that we had was that real impact is made outside of Google Ads. So Bob was really the one that taught me the business partner mindset. And he showed me different case studies. And when we started to work together, I learned from him that he was making true impact for clients, working with them for years and years, because he helped his clients with offers, landing pages, unit economics, and stuff like that. Like the things that are not required of Google Ads specialists typically, but can really like enhance your results like nothing else. So if you want to thrive, we discover like you have to think like a business partner and not a button pusher. And that's how Bob, and we're going to be diving into this framework later as well, that's how Bob was able to help a client go from 200K in yearly rev to nearly 15 million with Google Ads over the course of 7 or 8 years, 15 million per year. And so that's why we discovered that firstly, fundamentals are absolutely key. But once that is in place, you really make the highest impact by looking outside of Google Ads, especially with all the automation and AI that we see these days. And then recently, we came to the third discovery, and that is build the skills first, then get 100x leverage on your time with AI. So I learned this after diving into and experimenting with various AI tools myself. Uh, and in doing so, I learned how important the input actually is that you give to it. And I noticed that when we go into the third step of the framework later, I'm going to show you examples. But I learned that when we pre-programmed AI with our frameworks and our knowledge, then the results were far, far, far superior. Better ads, better landing page structures, better analysis, etc., etc. And so what we're going to do today is dive into the 100x advantage, the surprising 3-step strategy to 100x your impact and stay relevant in the age of AI. And this process is the reason why we've seen so many epic transformations in the PPC Hub. Like, for example, Ramil, who scaled a supplements brand to 26K spend per month up from 7K. This brand was really struggling initially, but he was able to turn it around because he focused on the unit economics, looking beyond Google Ads. Or Hester, who blew away one of her Google Ads coaching clients with the things that she learned in the PPC Hub, which is all about doing everything perfectly well, both inside and outside of Google Ads. And she said that she left imposter syndrome at the door because of this new skill set that she got. And one of my favorite stories of all time to tell is from Benjamin, who landed his first premium client for his business. And he said that he went from doubting himself to feeling confident because he was working with his clients on a higher level by focusing on, for example, offer optimization and restructuring his own offer to be able to help clients much better. And he hired his first premium client, and he's finally charging what he's worth. So that kind of shows you what the potential is when you understand this framework and you put it into practice, of course. So the first step of the 100x Advantage workshop is master the fundamentals, lay the foundation for exponential results, keep it simple with tactics that really work, and say goodbye to shiny object syndrome and FOMO forever. Step 2, think like a business partner. Take your results to the next level by looking beyond Google Ads and go from button pusher to business partner. And step number 3, use your expertise to train AI for exponential results and productivity and separate yourself from average specialists. Now, this third step is relatively easy. Learning how to use AI tools, prompting, all that stuff is relatively easy. Of course, there's a learning curve, but it's relatively easy. These first 2 steps, though, that is the hard part because you have to constantly reinvent yourself, keep leveling up, master the fundamentals, start thinking like a business partner. I'm not going to say those things are easy. That's actually the hard part. But those 2 things, when combined with AI, are going to help you create that 100x advantage. But if you skip out on those things and you focus only on AI and you think like, oh, I don't have to develop my skills anymore, then you're going to be in trouble. But when you do this, when you apply this 3-step framework, you go from feeling confused and overwhelmed to having clarity and in control. And you can say goodbye to FOMO because you're recognizing shiny objects and you understand like these things are distractions and these things are really important. And that helps to prevent overwhelm, feel less confused, and don't have FOMO. So people who build the skills and use the technology are the ones who are going to take all the opportunities. But the number one bottleneck here is not how you use AI itself, because as I said, learning how to use AI tools and prompts, that is relatively easy. But the number one bottleneck is your skill level. And here's the thing. You have to be able to do a certain task yourself first, because then you'll be able to articulate it properly to AI. And you cannot automate what you don't know how to do. But people are always jumping on, I want to automate as much as possible. But you cannot automate it if you don't know how to actually do it, because then you're going to be in trouble. Because what if it breaks? What if it doesn't do what you want it to do? Then you're screwed. So this is another quote from Nicholas Cole. He said, the technology is leveraging existing knowledge, not replacing it. And so it's using the knowledge that you put into it, the knowledge that is coming from your head, to generate a certain output. And the better your knowledge is, the better your results that you're going to get from AI. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to dive into the 3 parts of this framework. And we're going to start with the fundamentals, then go into things like a business partner, and then how to actually use AI tools to multiply your impact. So let's look at the fundamentals first, because this step cannot be skipped, guys. I know it's probably tempting to a lot of people, and that's why we're going to see a big gap between average and elite. But the elite understand that you must master the fundamentals and you must develop your skills before you can leverage the AI tools. So anyway, let's say you want to become a world-class football player. This is my favorite example to explain why the fundamentals are so important. If you have watched one of my workshops before, then you may have seen this example. If not, you might like it. So let's say you want to become a world-class football player like Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, you don't want to start with a bicycle kick like he's doing here. This is when I was playing football myself growing up. I always wanted to score a goal like this. I never actually pulled it off because it's super hard. But you don't start with a bicycle kick because it's actually dangerous. If you land on your neck, you can break your neck. The fall can be hard, and it's not productive at all. So what you want to do, if you want to be a great football player, you start with the boring basic passing drills, which is 90% of what you do in a practice session. You just pass the ball left foot, right foot, touch the ball, left foot, right foot. And that is really how you win games. And you can see here in this goal, doing the fundamentals is what makes you world class. And you can see here this goal was scored. If you're not a football fan, then maybe you're thinking like boring. If you are a football fan, then you know how good this is, because all they're doing is just pass, and then shoot in the goal. And it was impossible to defend against. And that is why the fundamentals are so important. All they did here is nail the fundamentals. No fancy tricks, nothing, just fundamentals. And this is what happens when you ignore the fundamentals. You try to be fancy and you try to do like a nice trick shot here, and then you fail and you even risk breaking your legs. Like my boy Robin van Persie here, for example, like completely missing the ball. Could be unlucky, obviously, but this example like shows it. Like if you skip out on the fundamentals of football, yeah, you're just making a fool out of yourself, and you can break your legs. And so the same thing applies to Google Ads. And the case study that I just showed you from Bob, this one where he took over, conversions went up, CPA went way down. He didn't do anything fancy. And he posted it on LinkedIn last year. And he said that he took over a struggling lead gen account. And it was actually, the setup was so bad that he decided to start over from scratch. And what he did was, or actually the results that he generated from that was a year-over-year growth of conversions by 250%, more than 400% conversion rate increase, and a 60% CPA drop. So what did he do? He consolidated the campaigns. He switched from Google Ads conversion tracking to offline conversion tracking. He switched to target CPA in all campaigns instead of maximize clicks, I believe. He introduced full broad and DSA, and he built out new relevant keyword themes paired with new RSA assets for rapid ad testing. When you look at this, there's nothing fancy at all. Like, okay, OCT is a little bit technical, but it's not really fancy. But consolidation, target CPA, broad match, new keyword themes, and RSA testing, it's not fancy at all. And that's how he was able to get these crazy results, 250% conversion increase while dropping the CPA by 60%. But the biggest threat to your results is shiny object syndrome. And I had to learn this myself because I'm always drawn to the new thing. And I actually had to teach myself that those are distractions. Like what we see on LinkedIn, for example, comment X to get my dashboard, or this new groundbreaking shopping strategy. And then you comment, and then it's like, yeah, either it's super custom for one client, or it's just meh at best. I'm sure some of you can relate. I'm not trying to bash people who do those things, by the way. Like if you share good lead magnets that way, more power to you. But most tactics are shiny objects. And it's not about finding the latest secrets or finding the latest hacks. I know we're all drawn to secrets, hacks, cheat codes, but actually how you drive results is by nailing the boring fundamentals over and over and over. And so if you can stay disciplined and filter out all distractions, you will see results. But trust me, it sounds easier than it is. That is actually the hard part. Staying disciplined and filtering out and understanding what is a distraction and what is actually useful, that is the hard part. And so you might be thinking, I can hear some of you think already like, okay, sure, but fundamentals, come on, guy. That's just boring beginner bullshit. So before you fight me, I have to clarify this. This is a definition from the Power Moves, and it says fundamental is foundational and not necessarily beginner. Fundamental means foundational, such as the main things that provide the solid foundations for all the rest, but those things are independent of beginner or advanced. Ideally, you tackle that first when you're first learning, which makes it seem like beginner. So just because you're doing something like there's a sequence of steps, like step 1, step 2, step 3, 4, 5, that doesn't mean that step 1 and 2 is a beginner step. No, you just have to do those things in order to get the results. And when you're building something, you first want to, like, for example, a building, you first want to lay the foundation so that what you build on top of that can actually hold up. That's why the fundamentals are so important. And I hear this quite often when people join the PPC Hub. They say, Miles, I already know the fundamentals. I just want the advanced stuff. Then I show them this from Lowell. That's one of our members in the PPC Hub. She's awesome. That quote was not hers, but she's awesome. She said she went through the basics section of our Google Ads Success Path program. And our Success Path program is just like a collection of courses that goes through the fundamentals so that you know exactly what to do and when for all campaign types. But we also have a basics section. And we say like, okay, that's ultimate basics. That's like beginner. But she was humble enough with her years of experience. She was humble enough to just go through the basics, look for maybe 1 or 2 golden nuggets. And she said that I'm just working through the basics section, and it's awesome. She said that she learned so much from the few basics lessons that we have in there, and she already like took a quote from there. You can't take vanity metrics to the bank and use that with a client. And because she went back to like all the way to the basics, she was able to understand the difference between strategy and tactics and use that to have better conversations with her clients. So even with her years of experience, she still found something useful in even the most basic section. And so the real experts, the best Google Ads specialists, they know that you do not grow, you do not outgrow the fundamentals. It's not like when you build the foundation that you then, go do something totally different. No, you strengthen the foundation and you keep working on the foundation. You don't outgrow the fundamentals. And so we want to make it as easy as possible for you to drive results without oversimplifying Google Ads. And Max, I see, yeah, you said you ran into Bob at a karaoke bar at 2 a.m. I heard that. That's crazy. Anyway, sounds like a crazy story. Anyway, we want to help you drive the best possible results without oversimplifying Google Ads. And so we created this 9-step framework that some of you might have seen. It's called the Google Ads Success Formula. And we created this because we really wanted to have something like that is foolproof and that shows you what are the fundamentals for Google Ads so that you can say goodbye to like almost everything else and understand like, okay, this is the core that I need to do well. And so the 9-step framework to drive maximum results over and over is a combination of an irresistible offer, conversion optimized landing pages, scalable unit economics, so your numbers per unit, margins, etc., clear goals and KPIs, crystal clear conversion tracking, solid campaign structure, laser sharp targeting, compelling creatives, and efficient bid and budget management. As you can see here, it's basically a combination of what you do inside and outside of Google Ads. And while those things inside of Google Ads are extremely important to do well, so you're tracking, structure, targeting, creatives, bids, and budgets, you generate disproportionate results, or you generate a disproportionate impact on results, so totally out of balance, when you focus on the things outside of Google Ads as well. So your irresistible offers, landing pages, unit economics, and goals and KPIs. And these are the fundamentals for success with Google Ads, and they rarely change. And I will say it time and time again, even if this is the second or third time you hear me say it, it's just so important to understand. And Kuda, he's one of our members in the PPC Hub. He placed a comment on LinkedIn, which I found super cool, because he said to someone that he was able to drive crazy results for his clients with an unrelenting commitment to fixing the fundamentals. And then he mentioned the 9 steps of the framework. And so if your campaigns fail, it's usually because one or more of the 9 steps are missing or poor. And more often than not, more than one is missing. So you can use the Google Ads success formula for your own accounts, and you can use it to really find maximum growth and scale. So let's look at how you can use that to diagnose your campaigns. So this Google Ads success formula framework, we've turned it around and said, why do Google Ads campaigns fail? It's because of those 9 reasons. If one of these are missing, then your campaigns will fail. And by teaching this in the PPC Hub, we've seen that people said that they, like for example, Maria here, said that she feels more confident in the discussions and presentations with her boss because her fundamental knowledge already got so much better, and it's easier for her to connect the dots. So that's why I'm sharing this, not to flex or brag or anything, but to show you what the impact is, because we kind of made a bet last year. We thought that, okay, we are convinced that the fundamentals are the key to success, but we still had to prove it outside of our own accounts. So when we started to teach this in the PPC Hub, it really started to click for our members. And how cool is it that Maria was now able to connect the dots of all the different knowledge that she already had as an experienced Google Ads specialist. And now she's able to have better discussions and presentations with her boss and other people with their clients because they understand the fundamentals much better. So why do Google Ads campaigns fail? The first reason is you don't have an irresistible offer. And again, we're going to get to how this relates to AI as well, because the first step to really understand if you want to be successful in the age of AI, and that's why I'm not diving into the tools straight away, is that you need to develop that fundamental knowledge. So the first reason why campaigns fail is not having an irresistible offer, which makes your campaigns basically useless. And so when we started to teach this in the PPC Hub, Lol, again, she applied that, but she also read Alex Ramosey's book, First $100 Million Offers. And she applied the concept of creating irresistible offers, which is basically create an offer so good people would feel stupid saying no. But that is a quote from Alex Ramosey. And she applied that, and she got, for her one of her clients, she got 50 leads for 80 pounds, which is crazy. So the second reason, and next to not having an irresistible offer, second reason why your Google Ads campaigns fail is because your landing page is not optimized for conversions, making it a leaky bucket. And in the PPC Hub, a couple months ago, we started to teach this. It's been a goal of ours to have a complete landing page course for Google Ads specialists. And it's part now of the Google Ads Success Path. And when we started to teach this, one of our students, Maarten, one of our members, he increased his landing page by conversion rate by 82%, which is insane. So we are often stuck up in what can I tweak inside of Google Ads? What can I do with my budgets? Is it my targets that are not good? Maybe we should start tweaking more ads. But how often can you find 80% uplifts inside of Google Ads? That's very rare. Like if you optimize your ads, maybe you can get a 20% boost, which is great. But you have disproportionate amount of impact that you can make by improving what happens outside of Google Ads, like irresistible offers, landing pages, etc. So the third reason why Google Ads campaigns fail is not having scalable unit economics. And unit economics are basically your, to put it simply, your numbers per unit and margins, etc. And understanding this concept is super important. And Alexei, also a member in the PPC Hub, he said that he became more confident communicating with the client's C-level people because he dived into their unit economics. And he said that I now speak the same language with them, and I can address issues that they haven't even considered themselves. So the cool thing here is, as Google Ads specialists, and I did this especially in my early years in my career, I would send reports to clients, and I would report on everything, like all the way from impressions to impression share, ad rank. Well, you can't report on ad rank, but lost impression share due to ad rank, like all these nitty-gritty details, click share, all that stuff. And it was overwhelming my clients because they're like, I don't care. I just tell me the profit that we got, or the POAS, or the profit margins, or our LTV, or whatever it is that they care about, and then they're happy. And so understanding this helped Alexei have better better conversations and discussions with his clients, C-level people, which is crucial. So the fourth reason why Google Ads campaigns fail is not having clear goals and KPIs. And this is so important because Bob is he really like hammered this home. And he said, like, I don't ever launch a campaign without having clear goals and KPIs upfront first. And when we first started to teach that in the PPC Hub, I already had this feeling like, I don't think people are gonna like this very much. It's not like sexy. We all like advanced segmentations, or offline conversion tracking or all technical stuff. But having goals and KPIs is actually the first thing, or one of the first things that you need to have in order to actually be able to drive results for your clients. But it is skipped out by most people. And so Isadora said that that was the module that she looked for the least, but it has been the one that helped her the most. So understand that. Then you need crystal clear conversion tracking, because if you don't, then you're just flying blind. And with crystal clear conversion tracking, what's important here is that you have a solid foundation with Google Ads conversion tracking, enhanced conversions and consent mode to fill in the gaps, server-side tagging to get that extra data. As I said, enhanced conversions for your uplifts, and profit tracking, and then obviously other things as well. We have a framework for that we've shared in the PPC Edge. But that is absolutely crucial, because without it, you're just flying blind. Then the sixth reason why campaigns fail is that you don't have a solid campaign structure. So what you want to do here, for each of these sections, I could have a workshop that is an hour long, but I just want to give you like the high over idea here. If you don't have a solid campaign structure, your data can be fragmented, and it can be hard for smart bidding to really reach your goals. And so what you want to do is create the perfect balance between consolidation on one hand, combining as much data as possible, and creating segmentations when the time is right in your account and your data calls for it. And so for Mate, this was a big aha moment for him. Embedded with AI, he said that consolidation is the key to success, especially with search campaigns, and he started to see big wins across his accounts. So the last three reasons why your campaigns fail, and that are part of this fundamental framework. Step number 7 is you're not targeting the right people, which makes your campaigns inaccurate. And when we started to teach this as well in the PPC Hub, we started to show people, when do you use actually different match types? When do you use PMAX? When do you use shopping? How do you target the right people? And one of our members, Bjorn, he was able to scale his account pretty hard, because he decided that it was time to test full broad. And I'm not saying that everyone should always run full broad, but for him in this specific case, it was a great test, and he got 71% conversion uplift, 190% increased conversion rate, and a minus 48% CPA drop. So crazy results by fixing the targeting. And then compelling creatives. Obviously, you guys know how important it is to create your RSAs. And then lastly, you need to have the right bid and budget management, or otherwise you're going to be inefficient. And I think a big mistake that people make here is that they still think they still don't trust Google's algorithm. And yeah, okay, maybe I shouldn't say trust, because yeah, you probably shouldn't trust it, but you should also be pragmatic and think like, okay, how can I leverage it? And what is the potential here for me? How can I actually leverage it, instead of like trying to fight it all the time, which we've also seen with one of our members, Timo, who said that he now dares to trust the algorithm more. And before he saw it as sort of as the enemy. And so, yeah, I don't mean to make this come across as sort of Google propaganda. Definitely not. I know that some people can be triggered when I talk about broad match, but it is what it is in this age of AI. And I always want to help you guys think pragmatically what is actually working. And so this framework is the foundation for our Google Ads Success Path program, which I'm going to be talking about a little bit later. But it helped members like Jeroen, you see here. He said that he's an expert with, I think, 10 plus years of experience. And he said that he was kind of starting to doubt himself, because he was always like confused and overwhelmed, like I also was, because he thought like, oh man, I don't know about these advanced tactics and strategies. But because he was able to go back to the fundamentals, he said that it brought him back a sense of confidence, and it reminded him of what he's worth. And I think that is the power of what happens when you go back to the fundamentals, because first of all, a lot of things just fall away because you focus on these 9 steps, nailing those, and obviously like the sub steps that are part of each step, and your results are just better, as we've seen with many case studies, like for example Ramil, 50 plus conversion, 52% conversion uplift, 40% ROAS, minus 27% CPA. Alessandro, more than 43% increase in leads with a 64% CPA drop. Roman, who was able to spend 155% more within his target KPIs. And all these case studies from these guys in the PPC Hub, they show the steps, what they did, and it's nothing fancy ever. It's always like boring fundamental stuff, like campaign structure consolidation, asset testing. What do we see here as well? Like improving the data, server-side tagging, feed optimization, like nothing fancy. And so the Google Ads success formula works so well because it focuses on the fundamentals and cuts out all the noise. And the boring fundamentals, understand this, the boring fundamentals drive 80% of your results. But what most people focus on, the majority of their time, they focus 80% of their time on finding those advanced tactics that only drive that last 20%. So my advice would be to focus the majority of your time, the 80% of your time, on the fundamentals, because those have an 80%, those drive 80% of your results. So that's it for step 1 of the 100x advantage. Master the fundamentals. Like if you learn nothing from this workshop, but you understand that the fundamentals are the key to success, then I would feel that this has been a success. Now moving on, the second step to 100x your impact and stay relevant in the age of AI is crucial. And it is thinking like a business partner, because how you take your skills to the next level is if you can take off your blinders and start looking beyond the Google Ads interface. And start looking at, like, for example, like what I said, like offers, irresistible offers, landing pages, unit economics, etc. But most people skip out on this and only stick to what you can do inside of Google Ads. So let's dive into this. Most Google Ads specialists and agencies will become commodities, and that is because of AI. Now, what is a commodity? A commodity is a replaceable good or service that doesn't have any differentiated factors compared to competitors, for example. So up until maybe 1 year ago or so, you could have really gotten away with just doing Google Ads. But Google Ads is changing so fast now with AI and automation that there's less and less that we can control inside of the user interface, and much less that we can impact results with inside of Google Ads. And this makes it harder and harder to find your competitive edge inside of the platform. And so that means that the real incremental value that you can deliver to clients comes from what you do outside of Google Ads, because AI has really like drastically changed what we do. There's much less to do inside of Google Ads, which allows us to free up time for what we do outside of Google Ads. And so your value as a Google Ads specialist actually changes, because what you do inside of Google Ads is only 30% of your time in your results. And what you do outside of Google Ads should be 70% of your time, because that is also 70% of your results. And if you remember, the first 4 parts of the Google Ads success formula are actually what you do outside of Google Ads. And we integrated those in the fundamentals, because we think that if you just do the things inside of Google Ads, even if you do it like a 10 out of 10, you have the best tracking, best campaign structure, best targeting, best creative, best bids and budgets. If you don't have an irresistible offer, a conversion optimized landing page, and even scalable unit economics or the right goals and KPIs, then it's never going to work. But your irresistible offers, conversion optimized landing pages, and unit economics have a disproportionate impact on your results. But the biggest mistake, or actually one of the biggest mistakes that Google Ads specialists make, is that they have Google Ads tunnel vision. And what that means is basically they are stuck in only looking at what can I do inside of Google Ads, because we've been used to doing only the things that we see inside of the platform. But with that, they miss out on the biggest opportunities, which are driven again by your offers, landing pages, unit economics, messaging, positioning, working with other channels, etc. And so we need to get out of the Google Ads tunnel vision if we really want to impact our clients the most, especially now that everything is being automated with AI. And so Google Ads is just a piece of the puzzle, not the puzzle itself. And so I promised at the beginning that I would dive into the case study from Bob, how he went from 200K to 50 million in yearly revenue with Google Ads for one of his clients. And he went from on the side working with this client to becoming an irreplaceable right-hand man. So here's a story of how Bob's longest standing client has still been with him for 8+ years. And Attila, I see that I think the main problem, people create silos. That is definitely a big problem. So this example is extremely rare because I don't know too many people that are still working with clients after 8+ years. That's insane. And so again, what he did to be able to help this client grow from 200K to 50 million nearly in yearly revenue was remove his blinders and start looking at, okay, once I built the foundation inside of Google Ads, what can I actually do to really keep impacting my client and keep driving results? And so what he did was he understood that Google Ads was always at the core of his service offering. So he didn't change, like he didn't start it to do meta ads or anything else. Like he stuck to having Google Ads as the core of his service, but he looked beyond it to make real impact. So what did he do? He helped his client expand to different countries and languages, like 25+ after starting in just the Netherlands and Belgium. He helped expand to other channels by connecting his client to senior freelance experts who would do then meta, display, SEO, etc. He helped set up advanced dashboards with like crazy insights for like high over for the client, and created a custom lifetime value framework that they used for offline conversion tracking and value-based bidding to steer on predicted profit margins, which is just insane. And he did that together with development. Industry Monica, this is lead gen. I'm not sure if I can actually say too much about that, but it is a lead gen, but they have a lot of low ticket offers. So it's like a weird mix of sort of lead gen, but also has a lot of factors of e-commerce. And so he did a lot of things that were not typically required of Google Ads specialists. And that's how he was able to raise his hourly rates with this client from 65 euros in 2020 to 200 euros in 2025. Growing alongside this client because he was able to keep impacting the client while doing the things that were not actually expected of him. And so this client gave him a 50K bonus, or actually like 49K. And here's proof. Bob is always transparent with the things that we say. We back it up with real data. And here Bob got a 50K bonus as a freelancer because the client saw that that Bob was driving so much value for him, and he kind of felt that he was underpaying him. And there was also a gesture from this client to kind of convince Bob to stay with him and not go work, not get poached to work for other clients, or that at least like create that loyal, how do you say, like creating a good working relationship. He wanted to invest more in him there. And this is, it's crazy. I've never heard of a freelancer getting a bonus even. And so what I learned here is that you make real impact by looking beyond Google Ads. And I think everyone who doesn't do this is kidding themselves. If you say like, that's not part of my job, then those are the people that are going to be eliminated the first in this age of AI, because a lot in Google Ads is already automated and there's just so little that you can still influence inside of the user interface. And so the real impact comes from doing things outside of Google Ads. And so we believe that the future of PPC belongs to T-shaped Google Ads specialists. And a T-shaped Google Ads specialist, if you have seen my workshops, one of my workshops before, then you may have seen me talk about this, but let me explain. A T-shaped Google Ads specialist, and I actually hear like jets outside, so I don't know if you guys can hear that. A T-shaped Google Ads specialist is someone who is competent in many things, but an expert in one specific topic. So for us, that means we have deep knowledge of everything that goes into Google Ads. So your goals and KPIs, tracking, structure, bits and budgets, targeting, creatives, etc., etc. But then on top of that, that's the foundation of your career. Then on top of that, you have broad knowledge of skills that stack on top of your existing skill set. Okay, good that you don't hear the jets. So, for example, understanding how to optimize irresistible offers or landing pages or unit economics, or understanding the basics of different channels so that you can help your clients spot the opportunities there. And the main reason why this model of the T-shaped Google Ads specialist works so well is because you are still a true master of your craft, Google Ads, but you have enough broad knowledge to be able to spot the opportunities and bottlenecks that your clients may not be able to see themselves. And that's a huge opportunity. And it's also a big mistake for people to think that, no, I don't, it's not part of my job to help my clients with landing pages or offers. It may not be part of your job, but it is what makes you irreplaceable, like with Bob, and it is what is giving you an edge, and it is what it's helping you prevent client churn, because you're constantly over delivering to your clients, basically. And so with this concept, again, Benjamin was able to land his first premium client because he improved his own offer, but then also used that to just drive better results for his clients by doing a really detailed audit and presentation, looking at landing pages, looking at offers, etc., etc. And then Michael in the PPC Hub, he also impressed his clients with his new expertise in offers, landing pages, advanced tracking, and more. And Hester, as I said, blew away her coachee, like her coaching client. And she said that she was always like feeling a little bit nervous beforehand. But this one time she did a workshop and she didn't feel nervous, or not as much. And then she said that I felt this sense of calmness and I truly enjoyed the session. She said I blew them away because she just felt confident because she knew, like in her words, she said, I knew the session was going to be booming valuable. And she said that I left the imposter syndrome at the door. And that was the best feeling ever, in her words. So this, like, I don't know how to like explain this how impactful this is for me personally, because I love when people drive results. It's great to see. It's great to see when people scale clients accounts. But when our members say that their confidence increased or they have killed imposter syndrome, that is where the magic happens, because then you are able to do so much more in your life. You're able to like confidently help clients. You know what you're worth. You bring this confidence to your home situation, to your kids. Your kids grow up more confident, and that is ultimately like a little bit of a sidestep, but that is what makes this whole thing magical. And yes, we love increasing ROAS and getting better results for clients, etc., etc. But the most important thing is that it allows you to feel good about yourself, to feel confident, because you know you're nailing it. You're doing the things that other people are not. And so also another example, Remedial scaled a supplements brand from 7K to 26K per month in spend by focusing on the unit economics. And so what you want to do here, what you want to remember, think like a business partner. And that's how you stay relevant in the age of AI when others struggle to justify their hours. And so that's when we come to the third and last part of the 100x advantage and of this workshop, and it is about multiplying your impact with AI. So up until now, you've learned why the fundamentals are important and how to think like a business partner. And now we're going to see how you can actually enhance your results in productivity with the right use of AI. But doing that is not about a certain feature or a toggle or about using other people's prompts. I think fundamental AI law, and this I had to learn this the hard way after a lot of experimentation myself, is that input equals output. And so when I was using the tools myself, and I'm going to show you some examples, when I was using basic average input, I was getting basic average results and output. But when we pre-programmed the AI with our own frameworks and our own fundamentals and thinking like a business partner, etc., that's when we really got the crazy results. And so your unique knowledge, expertise, and experience is what gives you a 100x advantage. And so this is an example of basic average input. You just go to ChatGPT and you say, give me 15 responsive search ads headlines for a local car dealership in Austin, Texas. And you can see here, first glance, they look great. But the thing is, first of all, they're way too long. The character limit is not being respected. And there's no like persuasive elements or anything here. So when we programmed our AI, our custom GPTs, we've created our for ourselves. With our when we pre-programmed them with our frameworks, like for example, a real framework like our creative excellence framework that creates ads based on your irresistible offer, looks at your core messaging, mapping that to the awareness stage of where someone is, so colder to warmer leads, for example, traffic, and then creates optimized assets. And then with a much more detailed prompt, as you can see here, it's much longer, then the output is much better. And we actually recently changed this. So we found a way for ChatGPT to actually respect the character limits. But you can see here, because we pre-programmed it in a better way, we got benefit focus headlines, feature focus headlines, social proof, urgency headlines, scarcity headlines, risk reversal headlines, and a call to action. And then for the descriptions, we have very diverse descriptions that we can then test. Core benefits with a feature, social proof with value, urgency and risk reversal, and a clear call to action. And this is just showing you that I hope that you see now that the input determines the output. And I could easily give you like 10 prompts to work with yourself. But the point that I'm making here, and why we took the steps to get here in this workshop, is because you're only able to program AI to do what you want to get advanced output if you understand the frameworks, and if you have that understanding of the fundamentals, and if you are able to think like a business partner. And so AI is a multiplier, but not a magic wand. And AI takes whatever you put in and then scales it. So if you feed it average input, you're gonna get average output. But if you feed it expert input, then the output is gonna be exponential. And so this is where your expertise becomes your superpower. And so here's the thing. I think, to kind of almost recap this, is that I think the gap is getting bigger, the skill gap, because of average specialists using average input, getting average results, but they don't know that it's actually average. And that's why AI is becoming a limiter for them. But then on the other side, we have the elite, the best Google Ads specialists in the world. They understand the fundamentals and thinking like a business partner concept, and they have elite level input, elite level results, and AI for them becomes a multiplier. And so experts who will dominate in the age of AI are the ones who feed better inputs into AI, getting 100x more output by automating routine tasks. So here are just a few examples of how we're leveraging, like, for example, ChatGPT. And I wouldn't say I'm an expert in it at all. Definitely not. But we found ways to incorporate our frameworks to get better output from it. So we asked it to do a search term report for a travel agency, and it gave us examples of what we can exclude, top conversion driving search term and trends, new destinations that we can actually add to the tour offerings of this client. So, for example, seeing that there were a lot of people who searched for a trip to Japan, but that was not part of the itinerary, well, you can now go to your client and say, hey, we see that this is starting to become a trend and popular. Maybe you want to add create a tour for that specific country. Different patterns, insights, ideas on what to exclude, long tails to include, etc., etc. And then the more extensive your input, the better your output becomes, with the whole report, like conclusion, etc., etc. Or our landing page auditor, custom GPT, part of landing page mastery, pre-programmed with our conversion amplifier framework that looks at your irresistible offer, informational hierarchy, visual hierarchy, and a lot of like copy frameworks, and then it's giving you an audit of your landing page based on that framework. So instead of just dropping the URL and say, hey, ChatGPT, what can I do better with my landing page? We have a structured process in which we want it to audit this landing page based on our framework that we have created. And that's why the output that we get from it is so much better. So what took hours now takes minutes with the right inputs, like elite level SQRs, landing page drafts, audits, ad creation, market research. And those who rely on manual labor or poorly programmed AI tools will fall behind. And it's the people who build the skills and use the technology the right way that are going to take all the opportunities. And so time is of the essence. And as AI becomes more powerful, the gap between average and elite is only going to get wider. And your expertise is the only thing that cannot be automated, and it's the 100x multiplier that sets you apart. So let me just restate that. Your expertise is the only thing that cannot be automated, and AI is the 100x, and that is the 100x multiplier that sets you apart. So keep developing your skills. And with that said, I understand if the current state of the industry overwhelms you. AI is all over the place. It's tough, but in our fast changing industry, it is what it is. The only constant is change. And so this quote by Charles Darwin is a perfect, like close to an end of this workshop. It's not the strongest of species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It is the most adaptable to change. So the hard part isn't using the AI tools. That's actually fairly simple. But the hard part is constantly reinventing yourself and upgrading your skills so that you can use AI as a 100x multiplier for you. And that is the only way, in my opinion, to stay ahead and not fall behind. So where a lot of people think that they don't need to develop their skills anymore because AI is just going to do it for me, that is the wrong way of thinking. The only way to stay ahead is to upgrade your skills. And so the rate of shiny objects is only going to increase with AI. You know, AI agents. This bothers me a lot. Like on YouTube, for example, videos from people saying how agencies are printing $1 million per month using this AI funnel, 84% profit. And then it's like a AI agent funnel. It's like, come on, guys. It's like bullshit. Nobody's doing that. That maybe like the top 1%, but it's all clickbait. And then we have other videos here, like this AI agent can replace your entire marketing department. I build a marketing team with one AI agent and no code, free N8N template. Come on, like it's all clearly clickbait. And this type of bullshit content is only causing overwhelm and stress for people. And so the cure, the antidote, the solution for that is to go back to the fundamentals always so that you can protect yourself from this shiny object syndrome and stay focused on what truly impacts results. But the moment you stop learning is the moment you start falling behind. So always keep your axe sharp. So to recap, this is the blueprint to thriving when others will struggle, the 100x advantage, the surprising 3-step strategy to 100x your impact and stay relevant in the age of AI. Step number 1, master the fundamentals. Step number 2, think like a business partner. And then step number 3, multiply your impact with AI. Step number 1 and 2 cannot be skipped. If you skip those things and you go and you think that AI is just going to do it anyway, that's when you fall behind. Okay, so are you going to survive this storm? Ask yourself this. Since AI is widening the gap, which side of the gap will you be on? On one hand, we have average specialists with low skill and poor results. And on the other side of the skill gap, we have the elite with high skill and great results. And obviously, I want you to be on the right side with the elite specialists with high skill, great results. And that is why we created the PPC Hub, to help you increase your value in the marketplace, drive better results, and then that way open yourself up to taking more opportunities, because the people who understand that mastering the fundamentals, thinking like a business partner, and multiplying your impact with AI, those are the people that succeed. But the rest, yeah, it's going to be tough. So this is just an exclusive invitation to join the PPC Hub. Let me see actually if the slides are still, yeah, all good. So for those of you who are interested in joining PPC Hub and really becoming the best Google Ads specialist you can possibly be, let me just explain in the next 10 minutes or so what the PPC Hub is all about, because we did create this to help you stay relevant and increase your value. So this is for the people who want to be part of the elite, who want to thrive and not struggle. For the people who want to hire more clients and better clients and not lose clients. This is for the people who want to feel confident and not overwhelmed and stressed. And for the people who want 10 times more opportunities for their life and career. So again, we created the PPC Hub to help you stay relevant and increase your value in the marketplace. And so you can either reject the invitation. This is a little bit of a joke, obviously. But you can either reject the invitation and try to figure everything out, staying confused and overwhelmed like I was in the beginning of my career, and you know, try to find everything but still be stressed out by all the conflicting advice you find online. or you can accept the invitation and take a massive shortcut so you can skip the guesswork and start driving consistent results today with our proven frameworks and community. And I'm super passionate about this, guys. As I said, we just hit our 2000th member. We started the PPC Hub 2 years ago, and it's just the best. Like, the people in there are amazing. We have frequent meetups in person, like June 13th in Amsterdam, actually. And these people are awesome. They're super smart. They're willing to help each other. But most of all, they're always looking to keep improving themselves. And that's the type of people I want to surround myself with. So if you prefer a shortcut, let me just show you how we can help you become the kind of specialist that never gets replaced. And then you can decide for yourself whether you think it's worth it or not. So let's see how we can help you create that 100x advantage with the PPC Hub. So before we dive into the Google Ads success path and all that, what that can help you with, in the next month, in June, we're hosting the PPC Hub AI month. Anna, okay, well, if that's you in the photo, you're not in the PPC Hub yet, then I might have to change that, because that may have been from the Google Ads masterclass. So yeah. Cool that you were in the image anyway. Cool. So in June, we're hosting the PPC Hub AI month, and it's a combination. Yeah, it's from the masterclass. Got it. It's a combination of 4 workshops from people who are actually leveraging AI as a Google Ads specialist right now. So the first session is going to be from Mike Rhodes. It's going to be like super inspiring on how, where the industry is going and practical tools to use. Then we have sessions from Alfred Simon, who's like the epitome of fuck around and find out, just build. Sessions from Geert Groot and Kuda, who share things that they are building with AI. And then lastly, Mark Cornelius, just giving us a little kick up the butt to show us why now is really the time to really start incorporating AI in your agency and as a freelancer. And then a little bit of a sneak preview, like our goal with the PPC Hub is to obviously make sure that you can leverage the AI tools in the right way. And that's why we're organizing this AI month now, to just bring inspiration to the PPC Hub on how to leverage this and become more productive and drive better results with the right tools. But the core of the PPC Hub is all about education. And so we created the Google Ads Success Path, which is a combination or a collection of 8 advanced courses to help you master the fundamentals of Google Ads and also start thinking like a business partner. So the first course is the Google Ads Success Formula. Every step in this formula has a video that's around 30 to 45 minutes, kind of giving you the management summary of everything that is important with Google Ads these days. And then in the next courses, we dive into the nitty-gritty details. So the second course is Goal Setting Mastery, in which we show you how to use our Google Ads goal setting pyramid to set the right goals, the right KPIs, how to get your clients on board, etc. Then we have Conversion Tracking Mastery, completely updated. There's just 2 missing pieces right now, OCT and service ad tagging, that are going to be updated soon. This course is going to help you lay the foundation for all you need to track as much as possible. Then Bids and Budgets Mastery, completely new. This course helps you select the right bid strategies, the right targets, etc., with a lot of like cool flowcharts like here. Then Search Mastery, make sure that you do everything in line with our modern day search approach, which is all about consolidation and broad match, or maybe other match types in other situations, RSAs, etc. Obviously, we still need to test AI Max ourselves, so we haven't included that yet. I'm not super hyped about AI Max because it is just broad match, DSA, and some auto-generated assets. But hey, we still need to test that and see whether we actually think it's helpful. But we keep everything up to date, obviously. Then we have Performance Max and Shopping Mastery, which helps you launch, scale, and optimize your PMax and standard shopping campaigns with everything that goes into it, from super extensive breakdowns from feed management all the way to Google Merchant Center. Then we have Landing Page Mastery, which is completely new as well, to help you really take your results to the next level with conversion optimized landing pages. And Optimization Mastery, which is coming soon, which is going to be all about how to actually optimize your campaigns. Now, I think like a few more slides, and then we're going to dive into the we're going to do the raffle to give away 3-year memberships, but we'll get to that in a sec. So just a few results from our people. We have Quint, a member of the PPC Hub. He was able to ramp up his knowledge, and he became managing director of task force, partly attributing that to what he learned in the PPC Hub. We had Jay, who got a 15K salary increase with the PPC Hub. Daniel, who got promoted to paid media manager as a team leader. Koen, who said that he felt like he didn't really feel like a Google Ads specialist anymore. So he joined the PPC Hub to really feel like that again. And he said that the Success Path made that happen. Nathan, who said that after 10 years, he thought he couldn't learn anything new, but he did. Hester gained a lot of confidence. Maham had the highest ROAS for her company. George Clemens, who said that his team got a huge boost. Benjamin, who said he got a confidence boost. People are making friends, like Katarina is now working with Flow Boost, or other freelancers, like, for example, Roman is working with another freelancer from Australia. Lexi, who said that the PPC Hub saved her ass in her role and makes her team look like rock stars, which is insane. So that is just the power of the PPC Hub. And so in the Google Ads Success Path, there's a combination of we teach you why something is important, what to do, and then for everything we have accompanying videos that show you how to actually do that. So when we talk about feed optimization, we also show you how do you do that in Channable, etc., etc. And so at the end of the Google Ads Success Path, you can get this awesome certificate that actually signals skill, and not just the BS Google owned certificates. And you can flex that on your LinkedIn profile if you wish. So what you get when you join the PPC Hub, the Google Ads Success Path, with 8 advanced courses to really master Google Ads and really start thinking like a business partner as well. Because in the Google Ads Success Formula course, we also dive into offer optimization, unit economics, and then there's a whole course for landing page optimizations as well. Now, next to that, we're going to help you deepen your expertise with e-com and lead gen specific trainings. You get access to our questions channel, where you can ask any question anytime, where Bob and I are answering questions, but also the community is chipping in. We have 3 awesome mods with high experience who are constantly helping people find answers to their questions. And there's literally not one question that is being left unanswered. Next to that, you get access to our community with now 2,000 plus experts, which is an absolutely, as I said, insane group of people. We also get together in person, maybe 3 or 4 times per year, and it's been named having like a team without the drama, which I kind of like as a tagline. So again, Google Ads Success Path, e-com and lead gen training, Q&As, community. But then we also have some bonuses to really inspire you on what else is possible. So for example, every month we host workshops, either ourselves or with smart minds in the wider community. Like, for example, Mike Rhodes on AI. We had Niels Roymans come by and present something on scripts. Frederick Boysen with POAS. Product Hero with their labelizing strategy. We had Ruben de Boer, a fantastic CRO expert, explain to us like the basics and the fundamentals of CRO. And then, of course, we often organize workshops as well around just anything to help our members. Next to that, you get access to our vault of resources, which is a collection of calculators, custom build tools, Looker Studio dashboards, all kinds of checklists, audit templates, prompts, but also a lot of custom GPTs. And these custom GPTs are super valuable because we have pre-programmed them with our frameworks. And you can use them to create ads, to create landing page structures, to audit your landing pages, to create irresistible offers, etc., etc. And that is what we're going to be expanding upon in the future as well. Optimization checklists, there's so much. Cool. The third bonus you get is the inbound lead system. And this is my personal baby, so to speak. And this is just a little bonus that I created to help you get clients on LinkedIn. So I'm just sharing my personal LinkedIn strategy of what I use to generate or to grow to 60,000 plus followers and generate more inbound leads than I can handle. And this is the system that I created for myself because I didn't, as a freelancer, I didn't want to do outbound. I hated the thought of outbound. So just as a bonus, you get my system, a whole course on how I leverage LinkedIn as a Google Ads specialist. So everything you get when you hop on board, Google Ads Success Path, e-com and lead gen training, you can ask any question, anytime. Our community, advanced workshops, vault of resource, and the inbound lead system. And then, of course, also a ticket to the PPC Hub AI month, which is exclusively available for our members with advanced workshops from legends like Mike Rhodes, Mark Cornelius, Geert Groot, Kuda Kwashi Chinyara, and Alfred Simon. So if you are ready to create that 100x advantage with the PPC Hub, then I'm going to share how you can join in a second. Total value, as they always show you, so much, like way more than we're charging. And for freelancers, or actually there's two types of tickets here. For freelancers and solo in-house teams, so just for one person, it's $14.99 per year. And then for teams, so in-house teams or agencies, it's $29.99 per year. So for the price of two people, you can onboard your entire team, get your entire team trained, get new hires trained. And that's what a lot of agencies do with us. So you can choose for one ticket for freelancers or in-house, and then teams can go for the best option is for them to get a team ticket because it's just the price for two. You can onboard as many people as you want. And to make it really small, we have monthly payment plans available, and it's just about €4 per day. You can get yourself trained with the best education in the space. And I'm not saying that because I am part of some of those trainings, but I'm saying that because we have 100 plus 5-star reviews and because Bob is doing the majority of the trainings, and Bob is just the absolute best Google Ads specialist that I've ever met in my life. And so for teams, for €8 a day, you can get your entire team trained by us all year round. So for the price of a matcha latte, you have the insurance to really stay ahead. And we have a 7-day money-back guarantee to make this offer truly irresistible and practice what we preach as well. So you can try risk-free. And if you don't like it at all, which I'm small chance, but if you don't like it at all, just send us an email to support@ppcmastery.com, and we'll make sure that you get a full refund if you do that within 7 days. So imagine this. Where will you be in 1 year with us and 2,000 experienced Google Ads specialists by your side? So if you're ready for next level growth, record-breaking performance, and lots of fun with like-minded PPCers, then apply to join the PPC Hub at ppcmastery.com/apply. And then where you just have to fill out a short form so we can understand like your situation. And then if you are being accepted, you can just join right after. If you are rejected, then that means that it's not a right fit. But most, just fill it out, see if it's a fit, and then you can try risk-free for 7 days. If you don't like it at all, send us an email to support@ppcmastery.com within 7 days, and you'll get your money back, no questions asked. So one final overview. Google Ads Success Path with 8 advanced courses, e-com and lead gen training, Q&As, and you can ask any question anytime. Community, advanced workshops, our vault of resources with already some AI tools, our custom GPTs, the inbound lead system to help you generate leads on LinkedIn if you so wish, and a ticket to the PPC Hub AI month to get inspired by legends like Mike Rhodes and others. Total value more than €16,000. And for single tickets, it's $14.99 per year. For teams, it's $29.99. For the price of 2 people, you can get your entire team trained. So with that said, I want to go to a Q&A. But before we do that, go to ppcmastery.com/apply. But before we do that, I will spin the wheel of names and give away 3-year memberships. After that, guys, let's take some questions. All right, so what I have to do now, actually, I have to stop sharing my screen. 1 sec. And then I share again. But this time with the wheel of names. Share my screen. Yes. So what you see here is 1,353 names. So we're going to spin the wheel. And let's see who wins. So if you win, I'm going to send you an email right after this to claim your 1-year free membership for the PPC Hub. You guys ready? Okay, yeah, I'm spinning it. It's spinning. I should have shared the audio, but it doesn't matter. Anna. Okay, so what I did here is I just did the first names for a little bit privacy. There's probably multiple Anna, so that's why I have the number here. So Anna 51, I'm going to see who that is, and then I'm going to reach out to you, Anna. Okay, Anna 51. Second. Congratulations, by the way. Congratulations. And great to see the engagement in the chat as well, guys. It's awesome. It's fun. Zhong 91. Congratulations. I'm going to reach out to you. And then the last one. See who gets it. Rumena 310. Rumena, congrats. All right, guys, it's the PPC Hub birthday bash. Second year. Let's spin it again. One more. Why not? Joella 80. Congrats. All right. Okay, with that said, guys, let me actually pull up the screen again, and I want to do some Q&A. But first, let's do some Q&A. But first, I really need to go to the bathroom real quick. So let me just play a short clip, 4 minutes, of what people in the PPC Hub are saying about the PPC Hub. So in case you are maybe doubting, you're not really sure yet, or maybe think, oh, maybe I might want to join, just let me know. Then I'm going to show you this. I'm doing two things at the same time. It's always a bad idea. I'm going to show you this short clip, and then you can decide for yourself whether it's worth it based on what other people are saying about the PPC Hub. Then I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, and then we'll be back for questions. So for everyone who is still here right now, thank you so much. Give me 3 minutes, and I'll be back for Q&A. And for everyone else, thank you so much for your time today. I really enjoyed this workshop. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the chat real quick. What did you think? What's your thoughts about the workshop? And thank you for your time. It's been awesome, and I wanna I don't take it for granted that you take time out of your week to show up here. So I hope you enjoyed it. So let me take 3 minutes, and then we're gonna do questions. Thank you, Manu.
Just to put it short, the PPC Hub makes my whole department and
Can you actually hear this?
and myself look like rock stars.
Is it worth your money? I don't think so. It's 10 times worth your money.
I think the biggest problems that we've encountered over the last couple of months and years is to have a structured way to be up to date about what's going on, what's new, what are best practices.
Well, I played two at the same time, so let me actually pull it up again, and then I really need to take a bathroom break. Well, I played two at the same time, so let me actually pull it up again, and then I really need to take a bathroom break. Technical setups are always the worst. Okay, there it is.
Just to put it short, the PPC Hub makes my whole department and myself look like rock stars.
Is it worth your money? I don't think so. It's 10 times worth your money.
I think the biggest problems that we've encountered over the last couple of months and years is to have a structured way to be up to date about what's going on, what's new, what are best practices. And we found that the PPC Hub community is insanely valuable for our team.
So just imagine a PPC postgraduate diploma or a master's course. The success path is probably the closest thing you're going to get to that in this industry.
Been working in PPC for over 10 years now, and I honestly thought I had seen it all. The Google Ads success part really surprised me. The course dives deep into the fundamentals, but in a way it makes you rethink and restructure the way you approach your campaigns. It's not just theory, it's a mindset shift. It brought me back a sense of confidence, and it reminded me of what I'm worth.
I personally found it really useful, and I'm fairly advanced already. So I think for someone who's a little bit earlier in their career and they're doing this is absolutely gold for you.
I've been using all of the tactics with all of my current clients and have had amazing results with them thus far. The irresistible offers, the landing pages, just campaign structure. It's been really, really useful to implement with clients, and clients have been super impressed with the level of detail I've been going in their accounts with.
What's important for me is that they provide information outside of Google Ads, information about offers, about unit economic, about a lot of technical solution, about structure. So everything step by step. And when you start to working with new project, you can open this success path and make great strategy step by step for every single customer.
Also, you get examples for e-commerce, lead gen, and SaaS.
I landed a huge e-commerce client just this year with their courses, and the material that they posted helped me go from my existing Google Ads experience on to e-commerce in a matter of a couple hours a day over a couple weeks, and make an immediate impact for my new client. But really, I think the most valuable thing that they have released yet has been the Google Ads success path. It is incredible the way that they have thoughtfully organized the structure of the course to help you really foolproof yourself as a Google Ads specialist heading into 2025, 2026 and beyond. The landscape's changing more than ever.
I suggest the Success Path course to every digital marketers, not only for the knowledge that he leaves, but also for the network you will meet and the helpfulness of the entire community.
It's an awesome PPC community to be in. I've been in other communities. I have purchased other Google Ads trainings, and literally nothing compares to the PPC Hub.
It's probably one of the best investments I have done for my personal Google Ads career, or for my career as a PPC specialist.
As of a year and a half ago, I wasn't a believer in paid communities, paid courses. I tried to do it all and learn it all on my own. This was the first one I jumped into. I gotta say this has been 10x what my expectations were in terms of the value delivered. So I can't thank you guys enough. Happy customer for life.
And if you're thinking about improving your own career and staying at the cutting edge, which is important, you need a group, if not PPC Hub, I don't know where you're going to find it, that can keep you sharp and you can bounce ideas off of. So I love the group. I plan to stay with it forever.
If I have a real big problem, I can always ask them for help. And I would say they really, really react fast. So if you want to take your skills to the next level, I can highly recommend this hub. See you in there.
Thank you to the guys at PPC Hub. Thank you, Miles. Thank you, Bob. Really appreciate what you've put together, the community you've built. I'm going to be part of the PPC Hub for a long time. Cheers.
Cool. So I hope that gave you a little bit of an impression of what our members actually say about the PPC Hub. And yeah, the door is open for you to join us if you wish. Just go to ppcmastery.com/apply. We would love to have you inside and really help you take that next step in your career over the next 12 months and beyond. Cool. So next step, guys, let's answer some questions. So I'm just gonna stop sharing, and then I want to do myself full screen. Yes, awesome. So let's do some questions, and especially around AI, guys. Let's keep it to AI. So the first one is from Anna Fedulova. what are some overlooked opportunities for using AI beyond inside Google Ads, especially in pre-campaign research or post-click experience? Any ideas beside the ones you mentioned? So there's actually a lot of opportunities here. One thing that I use AI for a lot is, for example, just analysis. And I will say again, I am not an AI expert. I'm just a Google Ads specialist and a marketer who is using AI and experimenting with AI. So I'll share what's working for me. So we have in the PPC Hub created a lot of custom GPTs to help our members create high converting ads and create high converting landing pages, for example. So with this, we noticed that for our landing pages, we have around 10 GPTs or 8. I don't remember off the top of my head. And they all have a different specialization. So, for example, we have one called the Landing Page Architect GPT, and that is helping you create a proper structure for your landing pages in line with our informational hierarchy to help guide people from browsing to all the way to buying. But we noticed that if we have just one GPT, it's not really great at generating the best copy. So we also have the PPC Mastery landing page copywriter, which is a combination of the headline genius, value amplifier, objection crusher, FOMO creator, something like that. And it's all specialized GPTs that can work together to create conversion optimized copy for your landing page, the right landing page structure, irresistible offers, etc., etc. So that's it for landing pages. That's it. Well, that's definitely, I'm using it myself a lot for landing pages and landing page copy and landing page structures. Obviously there's ads, but also irresistible offers, helping you like think through like how can we take this service or product that is a commodity and turn it into something that is an irresistible offer. Next to that, I would suggest that for all your research purposes, use AI. And I've been a huge fan of ChatGPT's deep research functionality because it goes deeper into, I don't know exactly like the specifics of how this algorithm that they're using is better than others. But it is showing like you're getting such in-depth reports from it. So for example, you can use it to analyze your search term reports or use it to analyze placement reports, do keyword research, competitor research. There's like so many different things that you can do with AI in that regard. Now, one thing that I haven't been playing with myself yet, which is why we also invited people like Mike Rhodes to the PPC Hub AI month, is because I am curious what is the possibility with the Google Ads MCP, where you can connect and talk directly to your Google Ads data. And I haven't done this myself yet, so I'm curious how other people are doing that and whether it is actually already good or a shiny object for now. But I've heard great things from people where you can just run analysis much faster now because you use AI directly with your Google Ads data. So yeah, in terms of pre-campaign research, keyword research, competitor research, market research, it's all fantastic ideas to use AI for. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Some AI questions. Yeah, Matsic. I hope I said that correctly. If not, I'm sorry. I think I also sort of mentioned answered this question, but you asked. I have a question. Thanks for the great workshop. Thank you. Does AI help a lot at the stage of already running campaigns? How do you use these tools at this stage? So yes, it helps a lot for sure. As I said, like you can optimize your ads, your landing pages, do a data analysis, etc. You can run search query report analysis and find like deeper lying trends, things you can exclude, or other trends in this report that you may not have found yourself looking at the data. But next to that, like there's also other tools that sort of use that have AI embedded, which is not like you're not using ChatGPT or Claude like that, for example. But for instance, Product Hero, they were just merged with Channable, and they have a way to optimize your feed with AI, which is a big thing. So that's their I guess it's called Product Hero AI or something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head, but that's a great way to also optimize your product feed titles, etc. Now, I've seen instances from people where they are testing new shopping images with AI. I haven't done that myself, but I've seen great examples online. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity, Always, I think the question to ask right now is, look at what you're doing, just write it out. Like, what are you doing in your week? And just for everything you write out, just ask yourself, can I do this with AI? The answer is probably yes. And then if you want to get real meta about it, we can also ask AI, what can I use AI for in my work as a Google Ads specialist, to get even more inspiration. Yeah, okay. So in terms of campaign optimization, yeah, you can let the data be analyzed and look for growth opportunities. You can optimize your ads, optimize your landing pages, etc., which also go into campaign optimization, and a lot more, obviously. Let me see if there's more AI questions. Thank you, Stavros. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. For the AI tools, is it available under the free plan, or would you recommend using the pro plan for better output? I use the pro plan because I can use it more often without breaks, and it's faster. I would say it's 100% worth it to pay for example, ChatGPT Pro. Yeah, Stavros, this is a great question. And this is something that as I said, I'm not an AI expert at all yet. So I'm still developing myself as well here, but I can tell you how I see it right now. How can advertisers use AI to spot patterns in Google Ads data that humans might miss and actually turn those insights into smarter, more profitable campaigns? What I do, and this is actually an interesting concept, is whenever I have these types of questions, I actually ask AI this specific question. So I would just go to ChatGPT and give it the data. Like, okay, here's an export of all my Google Ads data for the last 12 months or 30 days or whatever. And then literally ask, you are world's greatest data analyst. How can I spot or what patterns do you spot in this data that I as a human might have missed, so that I can optimize my campaigns to become more profitably? And then I would add, like, these are my targets. I would give a little bit more context and suggestions. And then before you hit send, ask AI, what do you need from me in order to do this analysis? And then it's going to ask you, okay, what's your offer? What are your targets? What are some things to take into consideration? Then you give the answers, and then it's going to give you much better output. Again, as I said, like, there might be some people watching this answer and thinking like, no, Miles, this is like, you can do this much more easier. Yeah, sure. I would love to learn. So I'm not an expert yet. That's why we have the PPC Hub AI month to help me get informed on how to do things better. Okay, I think I had all the AI questions. I'm going to leave the other questions for now because it's kind of off topic. Let's see if there's any final questions, guys. Otherwise, we're just going to wrap it up here. I don't think so. So the last thing that I want to note here is that thank you so much for your time and attention today. It's been awesome. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, here we go. Can I just remove the question? Banners are gone. So for now, guys, if you want to join the PPC Hub, just fill out the application at ppcmastery.com/apply, and we'd love to see you in the PPC Hub soon. So with that said, Anna, thank you for joining. Thank you for attending, and everyone else who is still here and who watched, or if you're watching the replays, you guys rock. Remember, don't forget, keep investing in yourself, keep developing your skills, because that is how you stand out the upcoming years. Because the majority of people are going to think that they don't have to develop their skills anymore because AI is just going to do it for me. But as Nicholas Cole said, AI can literally not do it for you if you cannot articulate how to do it. So you cannot automate what you don't know how to do. So remember that. And Ramil, cheers, mate. Thank you for attending. And I would love to see you all in the PPC Hub soon. All right, guys, that's all. I'm going to end it here. Take care. Have a fantastic day. catch you on LinkedIn, in the PPC Hub, or anywhere else. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel because we're on YouTube right now. Okay, guys, take care. Peace.